The Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living and the Ministry of Dr. Moira Foxe presents Living Ideas.
So again, welcome into the sanctuary on this beautiful day. 2 more days to go. We're in the last days of Advent. And I love Advent because it gives me the illusion always that I'm busy preparing and getting ready for something. And sometimes in our human condition, if we don't have a goal, if we don't have something to aspire to, we don't really get there. So I've been enjoying these days of preparation and getting ready. And the only thing to get ready, of course, is mind, is consciousness. That's the only thing to get ready. And the readiness has to do with wakening up and coming out of slumber and coming out of sleep, which is the message of Advent. Get up out of the bed and stop sleeping. Get up, get out, and live. That's what its message is, but you won't find it in those words. Anyway, today we're looking at this thing called the God affair, the life affair. And we're taking a look at that and where it is in our own lives. And I have always loved Teilhard de Chardin, and he's a Catholic priest who was a very famous theologian and paleontologist, actually. And he had this beautiful way of marrying science and religion, and I loved how he did that. But he had come to the discovery that really the only thing for us to be caught up in as far as any kind of an affair is to understand and realize what he had discovered, and that is that there is this great center in the universe, this great center. And there is a center in each one of us. And they're kind of co-joined. And he calls this the omega. He calls it the cosmic point of synthesis. Now, you know that synthesis is the collecting of components and bring them all into one whole thing. And he says, in effect, that all of the universe consists of a cosmic power, a cosmic force, a cosmic energy, a cosmic intelligence, and he calls it love. Love, he says, is what it is. It's cosmic love, though. It's love like a love that we yet have to experience. And so we can't limit it through our concepts of what we call human love, because that's a very limiting thing. And so there's this going on all of the time. There is this great center in the universe, and it pulsates this cosmic love. And there's a center in you, there's a center in me that pulsates this cosmic love. And we're all joined in there by this thing. And he says that's the first thing to discover. And then the second thing to discover is that it's calling us into harmony with each other and with every living thing. He says the call is always for union in the cosmos. The call is for union. And its main focus or its main thrust is the only business of nature, of the universe. Love is the only business of nature or of the universe. My goodness me, just think of all this cosmic drama going on, the reality of life, going on all the time as you and I are racing and chasing and pursuing whatever it is we're racing and chasing and pursuing without much idea of any of that at all. Sometimes I think the analogy of an anthill is very good for us. We're these crazy ants running around, very busy. We have reasons why we're very, very busy. We're very busy keeping ourselves occupied, crazily running around the anthill, taking care of the anthill, when all around us is this incredible, amazing, huge world, universal experience that we could be participating in, but are not because we're very busy, frenetically, running and chasing and pursuing whatever we're running and chasing and pursuing, you see. And so Advent is all about wake up from that, stop the craziness, stop the freneticism, stop the busyment of the embodiment, and start to take on your awareness and understanding of the beauty of your beingness, the glory of your beingness, the magnificence of your beingness. And the only way you're going to do that is through stillness and quietude and becoming a radical listener and a phenomenal observer. It's the only way you're going to do it. There is no other way. And so you have this big, huge, awesome love affair going on all of the time, life with life. I mean, Plotinus got it a long, long time ago when he discovered, too, he was interested in science as well, he discovered that the universe is totally and absolutely in support of us. Totally supportive. This universe we're living in is totally supportive. That was the conclusion he came to. And he then said, when you get that and when you understand that, he said, stop, be quiet, be still, and then let the power of cosmic love, he says, stream through you, pour through you, flood through you, race through you from all sides and from all space, and be one with it. Can you imagine what life would be like if we ever did that? If we ever did that. Now, one of course, the best ways, I mean, you could sum up Plotinus' message in this. God is always pursuing you. God is always desirous of being in a conscious love affair with you. That's what you could sum up Plotinus' message with, and indeed Teilhard de Chardin's, and any of the great mystics. That there is this call to union, call to center all the time it's there. But it's a quiet thing, but it's a deep thing, it's a powerful thing. Deep is always calling on deep. You see, life is all about deepage, depth, deepage, you see. But we are more about hopping and skipping and jumping and racing and chasing and pursuing in our human identity. But if we step away from that and draw back from that and pull back from that and for once really get a sense of ourselves as the mystical, amazing, cosmic emanations that we are, and how love is something that's so natural to us. And if we could come away from what we have defined love as in the human terms, in the common acceptance of opinion that talks about love as something you fall into and fall out of, and you get and you lose, and something that you're seeking, and something that is straining and draining, and something that is so mysterious we don't know what the hey it is anyway, but we're looking for it, whatever that is. And so we're hungry, and we get out there as these hungry, pursuing, hunting individuals, looking for this thing called love in all kinds of ways, which we usually associate with the world of the senses, as a sensual thing, as an attachment thing, as a collecting thing, as a money thing, a power thing, or whatever thing that you have a love for, or you think you have a love for. That's what out there doing, like the ants hunting and gathering and doing all of that. When all of the time, love is right where I am. It's who I am, it's what I am, it's the true and essential essence of me. And I'm always in it. I'm always love-full. I'm always love-saturated. I'm always love-filled. And that will never change. Whether I know it or not, whether I recognize it or not, whether I feel it or not, whether I think it or not, quite apart from moods, quite apart from behaviors, quite apart from successes and failures and so on, nevertheless, regardless of circumstances, situations, and so on, the truth is I am the essence of cosmic love. And it's always with me, and I'm always love-filled, no matter how miserable and lost and without I feel. That's the illusion. The truth is, I am love-filled always and ever. And I have as much of it as I choose to recognize. And I mean, this business of, last Christmas I gave you my heart, the very next day you gave it away. Well, this Christmas I'm going to pick on someone better than you to give my love to, and let's see now then how you'll feel. We think that's neat stuff. And we go, yeah, I know that feeling. Well, whatever it is you're knowing, it's not love. Because that cannot be what love is all about, because love takes us into the wholeness, takes us into the center, takes us into the synergy, takes us into the harmony, takes us into the at-one-ment, takes us into all of that which is whole and wholesome and good and nourishing and nurturing and enlivening and advancing and uplifting and so on. Now that's love. A little bit of what love is, but it's so much more than that too. So it's well worth you and I pursuing for as long as we feel we need to pursue, because there's nothing to pursue actually. But what we're pursuing is an awakened consciousness, that's all. An awakened consciousness. We're pursuing an awakened state, an alert state, a tuned in, switched on state. I want to be a switched on individual. Do you remember way back when, hundreds of years ago, when Switched on Bach first came out? We all thought it was phenomenal. Switched on Bach was great. Digital, it was kind of the equivalent to a digital thing. And I remember playing that thing over and over and over again. So we want to be that switched on, where we are alive to our living, awake to our lives, present to our lives, directing our lives, and conscious of the decision-making we're making, because the decision-making we're making is that which produces the lives that we are living, regardless. And so today the call is, truly wake up and understand this. No matter how rotten and awful your circumstances are now, no matter how dark and gloomy and dismal the outlook is, the truth is behind all of that, there is a power, a force, an intelligence, an energy that is saying to you all the time, just turn into this, direct this in the direction of your good, and all of that illusion will dissipate itself. It must, it has to, because it cannot be where the truth is. The lie cannot remain where the truth is. So you take the truth to the illusion, you take the truth to the lie, and you allow that love within you to saturate you in such a way that its radiation dissipates what is unlike the truth itself, and opens up the doors, the floodgates for your good to be realized by means of you through your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own desires, your own life. That's the way it works. Now, of course, the most wonderful way to court the presence of spirit back, to court the presence of cosmic love back, is through meditation. You're not getting away with it. You won't get out of this world, my dear ones, until you understand that meditation is the way. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Meditation doesn't even define what it is, because we have our own crazy notions of meditation. I'm robed, I'm pretzeled, and I'm incensed, and I'm burning candles, and I'm playing bells, and I'm creating an energy and an atmosphere. And we think that this is real meditation. It is part of a meditation ritual, but it's not meditation. All of that is external and outside things. What is meditation? It's an open receptivity. It's a radical ability to listen. It's the ability to be still. It's the ability to be silent, which many of us are very challenged in that arena. Even when we walk through those doors and it invites us to silence, we can't shut up. It was to save our lives, Got to say hello, talk, got to open my mouth, got to launch out those words, got to let it all happen, got to be in that external situation, in that external plane. Why? Because that's what I'm addicted to, and that's what I'm used to, and that's what I'm familiar with, and that's my habit. So you and I have to change some habits here. And one of the habits, the new habits we have to grow and develop, is the art of listening. To listen, you have to close this. I have stopped quacking. Listen. One of the first things we learned in kindergarten, preschool, whatever, was to sit like this. That's the way we had to sit. And your finger firmly pressed against that mouth of yours. until you got it, and then lightly you just did it. And then your teacher just had to say, Cunis, le the hal moshe the hale, or just Cunis, which meant silence, or Cunis moshe the hale, silence please. Silencio por favor, I said that a lot when I was teaching high school here. First words of Spanish I think I ever learned. I have to say it to myself though many times as well. That's all meditation is. It's stillness, it's quietude, and it's listening, and it's observing. That's all it is. You can do that in a million ways. You have to find the way that works for you. I can tell you methods that work for me, but they're my methods. They work for me. They may disappoint you. They may not work for you. You've got to come that to yourself. And you will if you open the extended invitation to Spirit to lead you into the direction of your own awareness of what it is to be still, to be quiet, to listen, to observe. That's the way you do it. And I will give you one big, big help and clue in this. When you show up to be still, when you show up to be quiet, when you show up to listen, when you show up to observe, when you show up to meditate, put a smile on your face. Smile. Smile. Make yourself smile. You may have no reason to smile, but smile anyway. Smile. Because when you smile, the possibility of that cosmic love, that cosmic power, that cosmic force lashing up into you, pressing itself through you, streaming into you, pouring into you, saturating you from all sides and all space, is much more of a possibility when you show up scowling. Smile. Straight away a smile is going to bring you down into that easy energy. Straight away a smile will calm you. Straight away a smile will get you into that poise, that peace, and that power. Because that's the way you show up to meditate, with poise, with peace, and empowered. And you smile, and then the rest takes care of itself. For there's nothing for you to ask for. You've been given it all. Everything's been given. There's nothing for you to tell to that which knows everything, anyway, is well aware of everything about you. So you don't have to ask and you don't have to tell. You just have to smile and know that the power and the presence of life itself, love itself, the givingness of the universe itself is open and available to you, a very real and immediate help, a very imminent and a very present, palpable energy that's on your side, that supports you, that wants your good, that delights in your good. The only desire it has is that you should have life and have it in abundance, and that your joy may be complete. You will never tire of me reminding myself and you of that. That's the only desire Spirit has for you. God has no will for you. God has given you the preciousness of your own free will. But God has a divine design for you, a divine design. And you take that design and you make with it what you will. And that divine design is cosmic love. The self-realization, the self-actualization of your own business through your own effort. And remember, the business of nature, the business of the universe is love. So you get to self-actualize, self-realize through your own auspices and your own endeavors, aided and abetted by all the magnificent radiant force there is in the universe, when you allow it, when you show up in availability, when you show up in open receptivity, when you show up just simply to be in the enjoyment of knowing that this cosmic love is all around you and about you, above you, below you, within you, and without. And it's available to you to use for your good and the good of all besides. And remember, you never show up to know a good for yourself without knowing that same good for every person on this plane and for every living thing, because there is only the one. Teilhard de Chardin calls this Omega, the centering thing, the communion of oneness, total emergence, and total absorption in the one. And it's given to you already exactly as you are, however you've shown up today, whatever state you're in, it's still given to you as much as to a Dalai Lama or a Mother Teresa, the glory of the mystical realization of that union, that communion between the spiritual individual and its creator. And that is what the Christ is. It's the perfect alignment between the spiritual individual and the creator. So when the humanity and the divinity come into alignment, into synthesis, there you have the conscious Christ. Every single one of us is Christed. Few of us are consciously so. Every single one of us is Christed. Few of us are consciously Christed. And that's what we want to unravel and discover as we return back onto ourselves and remembrance of our original state of being before the world began. Oh my goodness me. Is that not drama enough for any one of us? It's beyond all the soap operas and reality shows you could put together. That is the superb drama of life and living. And you, each and every one of you, my dear ones, you are it. You are it. There's no it outside of you. You are it. You are it. The perfect point of power, individualized power, through which infinite cosmic intelligence, with all that it is, presents itself to the world, if you permit it, through you and no one else, through you. And you have the power to say yes to it. You have the power to allow yourself to express it through you. The question is, are you going to say yes to it? Yes. And so it is.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive